they're sculpted. They've got an 8-pack, a 6-pack, whatever you want to call it. And they're good as eye candies.
No beer belly.
Right,
yet.
beer belly. So they're good eye candy, so they're good to look at, and I have to say that a lot of times, like, that's just where they stay. They stay good as, like, eye candy. And it's good to every now and then, like, kind of think of, like, that would be really nice. You think of, like, certain things where you would like certain things, Yeah. But you just kind of keep it there. You're like, no, you know what? I think he's just better as eye candy. Like you said, a fantasy's better when you do your videos, like Temptation.
Yes.
It's nice just to kind of think of it and then do it in the video, but not go forward with it and bring it to reality.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting you said, because I just saw this lady who on TED Talk.
Yeah.
And she went up on stage and saying exactly this, that she fell in love with a man that was 20 years younger than her. And they had this amazing love affair. But then, of course, he wanted to have children.
Oh, wow.
So she sacrificed herself. She actually, she said it took 3 years really to separate away from him. And then she found the woman that he ended up marrying and having children with. So that was like, they called her the fairy, the kids, because they met her. So that was a big, and I think, as you say, of course, she lived it for a while.
Yeah.
But then it became very painful for her.
That's crazy.
Because she realized that she couldn't
give him any kids.
Yeah. So it is not fair, nature. So next life, I've decided I'm going to be a man.
That would be very interesting. It's like, what would it be like being a man for a day? Like, what would we do? Isn't that
I would
crazy?
love to be a man. I think they have so much easier with everything.
They do. What would be the one thing that you would want to do? Like, if you were a man for a day, what would be the first thing you do?
Well, I always said, because I was jealous the fact that they can just wee everywhere, but now that's illegal, isn't it? So you can't do that anymore.
Do you know? I used to, like, whatever relationship I'm in, doesn't matter who it is with, whatever, like my ex-husband or, it's like whatever guy I was dating at the time. For me, it's like I always, every time like they'd have to go pee, I have to go in there and write my name, see how far, because, my name is Long Elizabeth, right?
Yeah.
So I need to know, like, how far can I get to writing my name as they're peeing to see if it's like Eliza or Elizabeth, then it stops.
That's funny.
I love doing that.
Do they know?
Yeah, because, it's like I do that after, like, when you're comfortable with the person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I have to write my name. So I go in there and they're like, what? They look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, what? And they kind of laugh it off and they're like, okay, fine. And I just hold it and I start like writing like in cursive.
That is funny.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just think that's fun. I could think of certain things that I would do. I guess one of the things that I would do, if I was a man for a day, I think the one thing would be like the peeing.
Yeah.
I would try and see if I could, just like maybe hold it and then maybe like do a circle, peeing, see if I could do
it. Write your name with it.
Or not write my name, but just like circle to see like how far like the circle, or can I just like, can you know what, guys, can you try that for me? Can you guys try that for me? Like, it just hit me right now. Can you guys try to pee? Maybe do it in your bathtub, because you obviously can't do it in your toilet because you're going to get it all over the wall. But can you guys like try to pee, and like when you're going to pee, try to like do it like circles. See how many circles you can get out of your pee. That would be fun, right?
Yeah. That reminds me when I was young, we did actually, we did competitions, and then of course with
of
the
peeing.
Boys, yeah. when you're like 5, 6.
Oh my god!
Yeah. All these things.
But
Takes me back.
You did like competitions of what? Like, who can pee the furthest?
Yeah.
A female too? Like you would stand up?
Yeah, you can. Try to manage.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Takes me back.
The one thing that I like to do is, well, speaking of peeing, you know what I like to do a lot? Like, one of my guilty pleasures that I have to say that I do all the time I like to pee in the shower. It feels really, really good. Like, you know, it's like every time I'm going to go in the shower, and if I have to pee, I save it to go in the shower when I'm showering, because as soon as you go in the shower and then like the hot water hits you and then you pee.
Yeah, and you hear the water.
Oh my God. But it's not just like, it's just like the warm, like the hot water hitting your body as you're like peeing at the same time. It just feels so good, especially when it's like during the cold weather, but it even in the summer. I love the feeling of that.
I had a girlfriend. She used to tell in the bath.
She used to what?
To pee in the bath.
In the bathtub?
Yeah.
Well, she was in the bathtub taking a bath?
Yeah.
What? Oh my God, no. Wait, is there some kind of health benefit to that? To your skin?
No idea. I have no idea. I haven't tried.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is just crazy. I mean, I did hear that. No, but then there's water in there. I did hear once that, I remember one time my son had gotten stung, you know, by, I think it was like a wasp or something. He was playing.
Even jellyfish.
Oh, you pee on yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do it on yourself. So I actually got the kids to do it at each other.
You know what? That's what somebody told me.
Yeah. It's the best.
Okay, because my son had gotten stung by a wasp, and he was barely going to start his game, and it was like during like a finals or something. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of worried that it was going to get swollen, and he may not be able to play, and they really needed him to play. And one of the guys, you know, like they're like, you know what? They're like, I know this is crazy, but they're like, you need to go pee on your son. I'm like, what? I was like, no. And, you know, I'm like,
that's the thing. For me, so I got the kids to do it.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot. I'm like, are you freaking kidding? I'm like, I'm his mom. No. And then.
We're traumatized.
Yes. And then, of course, you know, the guy was like, well, I mean, unless he can pee on himself. And I told my son looked at me like I was crazy. Like I said, I'm not going to do it to you, but I was told that if you pee on yourself there, then it somehow stops it from doing whatever it's gonna do, and it goes away, and you know, then you'll be able to play. You know, you won't have to worry about the fact that if it's gonna get swollen or it's gonna interfere, and it's gonna, you know, with you playing. Yeah. And he looked at me like I was freaking crazy, and I'm like, you know what? Go ask that dad. I was like, go ask that, you know, of your team. You know, your teammate. He's the one that told me, and I was like, I didn't make this up. And he's like, no, Mom, I'll be fine.
No, but it is true. And now I heard from a friend from Kenya that if your shoes are really hurting, to get a soft leather, you should pee on it.
Wait, if what's hurting your shoes?
Mm-hmm. The leather shoes.
Yeah.
If they're hard and you wee on
the leather,
it gets super soft.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's got to be some kind of like the acid or something that's in it, because, you know, you do hear also the stories that, you know, if you're out stuck, you know, like in the woods, you know, and there's no water, then I'd have heard, you know, drink your pee to stay hydrated. That's kind of nasty. I can't do that.
Well, if it's your own, at least.
No, but even so, I mean, think about this. Okay, you know what? I know you guys, like, no one cannot deny the fact that at some point in your life, you've had some kind of pee in your mouth.
This is getting naughty.
Right? Like maybe a little droplet or like a little remnants. So you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because of that one little remnants of whatever, you know, like that little remnants of that pee, there's no way that I could go forward with, like, can you imagine having to drink that to survive? It's just like, I can't do it unless because you're in the middle of that and it's like between death and survival, then maybe you do it and you don't care about the taste.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Now also when I'm thinking about all the gluten-free, you know, everybody's become a kind of also a fashion. I mean, some are very intolerant, I know. But the thing with that as well, if there's a war and there's no food, you got to eat what you get.
I know, it's true, yeah. And there's like a lot of insects that have protein. You're listening to the show with Elizabeth Mesa and K-Syran on Dash Radio. Let's talk about your performances that you've done now that you came to the U.S. You did one in New York, Miami, and then did you perform in L.A. or are you going to?
Yeah, no, I feel now actually that I'm coming and staying in America. No. It was actually, New York was amazing. It was at the pianos, and I had, because I'm so lucky, we talk about young men again. I have my my band, my live musicians, jazz musicians. They actually got nominated Best Jazz Musicians.
Nice.
And they are also 25.
You like them young, right? You know what? Actually, I'm not mad at you. That's actually good because it keeps you young, motivated. And now I understand why you're so driven and why you can write your music all the time. You got all these hot young bodies next to you, of course.
Inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration, eye candy, and of course, like, you know what? You guys got to go check her music out. She has it on SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, and Spotify.
And it's also a K-Syran music.
iTunes. So K-Syran.
Syran music. Yeah, you guys got to check out her music and her videos, and then pay attention to the lyrics. It's great pop music. But at the same time, now that we're having this conversation, now we know why she stays so motivated in writing her music. Because, you know, with a lot of artists, some of them like write some of it, half of it, or none of it.
Yeah.
And with you, it's like, now I know. It's like, because, you know, it's like you carry your crew with you. Yeah, you stay young. That's good.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes.
Like my grandfather, he was like this. He was. I met him in nightclubs and stuff in Norway. Yeah.
That's nice.
At the age of 16, he was there at the bar, you know. And I was like, "Granddad, what are you doing here?"
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
No, it's important.
Yeah.
No, so that was great. And then I've been booked now at the different gay parades in the UK, which is also very exciting.
That's exciting. So are you going to be like you going to perform there?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So then I also need to be
gay pride. Yes.
In some
elaborate.
Silk,
yeah.
So
do you know what you're going to be wearing?
No, I'm kind of, I mean, the whole team is excited. So they're all kind of coming with suggestions, and there's got to be something big.
Yeah. And that's what I like about, you know, if we do like, you know, if you go perform in any like gay clubs or like do gay pride, it's kind of fun because you kind of get to play with yourself, you know, where you just sort of, you can just be like so elaborate and gaudy, and, you know, you could do whatever you want because, you know,
freedom. Yeah,
it's like anything.
Look at the transvestites too. I always thought, oh God, I wish I could be one of them. You know, the way they dress.
Yeah.
Flamboyant. And
yes. Yeah. So you can. Yeah. So you're gonna have to come up with like something.
Oh, that's for sure.
Are you gonna wear clothes, or are you gonna have, you know, like maybe like some kind of like bikini, or you know, like one of those swimwear, you know, where it's like half swimsuit and lingerie with like heels?
Well, in January it's probably going to be a bit cold.
Oh, yeah.
But for the summer in July, yeah, then it could work.
But you could still wear like a swimwear, but just wear like this really nice fur coat on top.
That's a great idea. I like that. Being Norwegian, you know.
I know. It's like I'm like doing it like I'm throwing. I'm like throwing the coat on myself. It's like I'm trying to live vicariously through you. And so when are you? So are you going to do? So you are for the gay pride?
Yeah,
you're doing it. Like, when is it? Is it like different towns, like different months?
Yeah, so in Scotland it's in January,
and you're going to do that one.
Yeah, and then in the UK is mostly in July, and you know, more summertime.
Right. Yeah, just like here, like summertime.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. I'm very excited about that.
So have you ever performed? Was this your first time performing in the US?
No, I did at the Mint.
Yeah,
in January. I did at the Mint, yeah.
And like prior to then, had you been here before, or was this like your first time the Mint and then New York and Miami?
No, I actually, as an actress, I came here quite a bit to LA. So I love LA. I think it's a fantastic city.
How do you find, you know, the fans here in LA? Like, are they pretty? I mean, do they get involved, you know, with your music? Like, are they very expressive, or are they kind of boring sometimes, you know?
No, I find it very nice. I think they're active, but it's interesting because I realize I have 68% male.
Oh,
so between the age of 14 and 18.
Yeah,
and then or a bit older after. So the between is kind of.
So you have more men.
Yeah.
That's interesting.